Imagine being pulled out of your body, accelerated past the moon, past the stars, and into a dimension so intense that human language literally breaks down. In the year 55 AD, the Apostle Paul was taken there. He called it the third heaven. He saw things so magnificent and so terrifying that God placed a divine gag order on his soul. He was forbidden from speaking the truth of what he witnessed. But why? What is so dangerous about the third heaven that a man was silenced for nearly 2,000 years? Today, we are peeling back the veil. We're looking at the ancient geography of the spirit realm to find out exactly where Paul went and what he might have seen that he was never allowed to tell you. The mystery of the three heavens. To understand Paul's journey, we first have to fix a major mistake. Most people think heaven is just one big blue sky with clouds, but the Bible describes a structured universe, a layered reality. The first heaven is easy. It's what you see when you look up: the atmosphere, the birds, the clouds, the oxygen we breathe. The second heaven is deeper. This is the cosmos, the vast, freezing vacuum of space, stars and planets. But according to ancient Hebrew tradition, this is also a battlefield, the dwelling place of principalities and powers. But then there is the third heaven. This is the highest heaven, the dwelling place of the throne of God. It is a place that exists outside of time and space. It is the capital city of the universe, and it was here that Paul was caught up. But pay attention, because Paul wasn't even sure if he was still in his body when it happened. The experience, paradise revealed. In 2 Corinthians 12, Paul writes about himself in the third person. He says, "I know a man in Christ who 14 years ago was caught up to the third heaven." He uses the word paradise. In the original Greek, this is paradisos, a walled garden or a royal park. But this wasn't just a garden with nice flowers. Think about this. If the second heaven is billions of light years wide, how massive is the third? Ancient texts and biblical scholars suggest that the third heaven is where the New Jerusalem currently waits. We're talking about a city made of living light, where the architecture is built of jewels that don't exist on earth. But here is the first twist. Paul didn't just see colors, he heard things. He says he heard inexpressible things, things that no one is permitted to tell. The forbidden voices. Why would words be forbidden? Think about the sounds Paul might have heard. In the book of Revelation, we're told of the 4 living creatures around the throne. They have 6 wings and are covered in eyes. They never stop shouting. If Paul heard the frequency of the throne room, the literal vibration of God's voice, it might have been enough to shatter a human mind. But there's a darker theory. Some scholars believe Paul was shown the end of the matter. He might have seen the full timeline of human history. He might have seen the faces of the people living in the end times, meaning he might have seen you. He was silenced because some revelations are like medicine. If you take them too early, they become poison. If Paul had revealed the full glory of what awaits, would anyone have stayed to finish their work on earth? Or would the world have fallen into a trance, waiting only for the end? The part most people miss is this: such a high vision came with a heavy price. Paul says that because of the surpassing greatness of these revelations, he was given a thorn in the flesh. A messenger of Satan was sent to buffet him. Stop and think about that. To keep Paul from becoming proud after seeing the third heaven, God allowed him to be tormented. This tells us that the third heaven is so beautiful, so addicting, and so powerful that a human being cannot experience it and remain normal. Paul lived the rest of his life with 1 foot in eternity and 1 foot in a prison cell. He was a man who had seen the finish line and now was forced to crawl through the mud to get back to it. So what did Paul see? He likely saw the sea of glass that looks like fire. He saw the 7 lamps of the Spirit. He saw the millions of angels that make up the heavenly host. But most importantly, he saw the reality that makes our world look like a shadow. The reason Paul was silenced wasn't just to keep a secret, it was to protect the mystery of faith. If we knew everything Paul knew, we wouldn't need faith, we would have sight. But Paul did leave us one clue. He wrote, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no human mind has conceived the things God has prepared for those who love him." The third heaven is not a fairy tale. It is a destination. And while Paul was forbidden from telling us the details, he spent the rest of his life proving that whatever is up there, it is worth losing everything down here to reach. If you believe there is more to this world than meets the eye, hit that subscribe button and join our community. We're diving deep into the mysteries of the Word every single week. Until next time, remember, the pit is temporary, but the palace is eternal. God bless.